Hello.
Hello,
Hi, friend.
my friend. How are you?
I'm okay. It's so good to see
Good.
your face. What a beautiful service that was today.
That was, oh my gosh. I think it was so beautiful to hear about Natalie in Reverend Christine's sermon. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that really touched me.
right. And that spoken word piece, that video was so beautiful. Thank you to
Oh,
everybody who was involved in that. That was really, really
yay,
very moving.
Alicia.
And your song
Oh
was
my gosh.
amazing. It was everything. And the little laugh at the end was everything. But I'm going to ask the question that I know is on everyone's mind. You have ink on your arm that I've never seen before.
What?
What is it?
That song was an oldie but a goodie, and oh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess this is you usually that was the summer version of myself. So I wear t-shirts in the summer. I'm wearing a t-shirt today, even though we're in snowvid time. That's my latest term. Yeah, and that's like a one little feature of a swallow. And when I'm in better shape, I can make him like that's a joke.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's a
I
joke.
never knew that you had
Oh,
tattoos. I love tattoos, so that's pretty cool.
yeah. Well, they're not for everybody.
That's true.
But
That's true.
that was something I really admired and actually, had to pray about actually. But I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
good.
Helps me feel like me.
Yeah, yeah, very
Love it.
cool. Well, we're very excited about our guest today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Can I be excited for every guest that comes on?
We are equally because we love our children all the same.
Yes.
But
So don't go away, you home viewers, right now, because we're about to bring on someone whom we admire and we're looking forward to seeing.
very much so. So come on down, Ian Trevathan.
Hey, good
Yay!
morning.
Yay!
Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure. It's great to see you both.
It's
Yeah.
great to see you. I'm excited for this chance to chat with you.
Yeah.
So, for those who may not be extremely familiar with you, do you mind introducing yourself a little, telling us a little about yourself, where you
Uh,
are, what you're up to?
I'm Ian Trevathan. I live in Washington Heights in Upper Manhattan. I've been worshiping at St. Peter's since about a year ago, October. Um, I had worshiped at All Angels before. What else can I tell you about myself? I was a teacher for the first 10 years of living in New York City, first in West Harlem and then in the North Bronx. And now I work in teacher preparation for the Department of Education. A little bit about me.
Good. Yeah,
One of the hardest jobs, teaching.
Whew. Sure can be.
yes, for sure. I have a funny story, Ian. I don't know if I've ever even told you this story. So I knew Ian from St. Peter's, and I we actually have a friend in common
Mm.
from your teaching days, right? You used to teach
Yeah,
Felipe.
yeah.
Okay, so I have a friend named Felipe. We used to go to church together. We also, yeah, we all work for the DOE. And so when Felipe found out that Ian was going to start attending All Angels, his wife Erica sent me a text and said, "Hey, our friend Ian is starting to go to All Angels. Like, here, would you look for him and just say hi and blah blah blah?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then she followed up with a text that said, "Don't worry, we're not trying to set you up with him."
Adorable.
I know. It
Oh,
was actually
girls.
hilarious. So anyway, yeah, so I don't think I ever told you that, but
Oh, that's great.
yeah. So
But you're both catches. You're both great catches.
thank you.
I think Ian, you have been caught. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed.
To pry. Yes. My brain was like, "Oh, will Ian be on by himself?" I said, "I think he will be
Yeah.
on by himself."
Yeah, you heard from Ryan earlier, so yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
Ryan's had his spotlight moment. I think he was
Indeed.
early on,
Uh,
so we're gonna give it to Ian this time.
I love it. Well, Leisha is wanting us to remind the world that you're a singer and don't front. There's more to you than meets the eye. Yes, we've had the pleasure of hearing you sing. Oh my gosh.
That is
Maybe the
Yeah,
three of us can sing. Let's get Joey on that.
for sure.
I
I
So,
love
studied music in
Leo.
college and don't sing a whole lot these days, but it's been fun to get to do that here at St. Peter's.
but your genre is more like opera, is that correct?
Yeah, I studied classically, and also finished my undergrad and realized like I don't love opera enough to make this a career.
Mm.
So yeah, when I'm listening to music, it's usually like I love R&B, love uh, love some. Actually, I love a lot of things. Love pop, love alternative. So
What's your favorite jam right now?
oh, I mean that's always impossible. Um, well, yesterday, the day before, was Erica Badu's 50th birthday, and I love Badu, so I've been like revisiting some of her catalog. And the song "Phone Down" I think is like just perfect.
I cannot believe she's 50. Is that true?
Don't crack.
Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
that is also making me feel very, very old.
Membership sometimes has its privileges.
That's crazy. Wait, someone wanted us to ask you something. Oh, Ryan said that we should ask you about your go-to karaoke song.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Well, one of them has been "Where the Party At" by Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge or 112? Jagged Edge, I believe, featuring Nelly.
Do you rap?
It's "Barely Breathing" by Duncan Sheik.
That's a good one.
But like Erica Badu shows up a lot. Beyonce shows up plenty.
Oh, wow. All right. I'm into it. Christopher, are you a karaoke fan?
yes, I like one of the things I wanted to talk about with you is church karaoke. Is this a thing? Could it be a thing?
It needs to be.
It doesn't have to
Right?
be hymns. It could be Erica Badu, but
Yeah.
yeah, I love a karaoke.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think
uh,
Christine really likes karaoke too. So I think that you guys could definitely have a karaoke thing there.
wait a minute. You
Sign
saying
me
you guys, do you like karaoke, Martha?
You know what? I don't.
up.
I know I'm a betrayal to my people and all that they stand for and all of it. And even though I sing, I just do not enjoy karaoke.
Hmm.
Oh
I
my
think I
God.
like being in the room when other people are doing it. I find that entertaining, but I do not personally enjoy doing karaoke.
You're from
Wow.
a true self there, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you've given me a great challenge now. I can't wait for COVID time to be over because to get us in a karaoke booth and just sort of like tilt the mic your way and see what
Oh,
song you're
well,
gonna pick.
we'll see what happens. I can do a little dance and a shimmy in the background, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
it may depend on the company. I don't know. Maybe I could.
That probably does have a lot to do with it for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, we find a like a sweet little duet, or Ian, if you're there, a trio. So yeah.
or a rap, like a Nelly rap, like a little "It's getting hot in here."
Okay. Okay. Here we are, Sunday morning, and I
Tattoos
guess
and
I'll just
Nelly. That's
throw
what
in
the view is today.
that Nelly is from St. Louis, and so am I. So anyway, that's a little
Oh,
Yep.
detour fact.
all right. Well, Ian, as you know, the actual format of the show is that we ask you 10 rapid fire questions, which are never very rapid. So we should really just stop calling them that. Um,
Yeah.
but yes, so are you ready?
Ready as I'm gonna be. Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. Christopher, you want to go first or do you want me to?
You go first.
Okay. Ian, I know that you, like me, enjoy baking and cooking quite a great deal. So, your first question is, what is the best thing that you've cooked and baked just in the past month? I know it's too
Mhm.
hard to sort of say broadly at any time.
Mhm.
But
Too big in the last month. Um, let's see. So this does not sound promising, but I promise it is. I found a recipe for whole wheat chocolate chip cookies. Why would you add whole wheat? Turns out the reason you do that is that when you add like brown sugar instead of just white sugar, and you add whole wheat instead of just white flour, it's just more flavorful. So this cookie also has ground up walnuts or pecans in it. So it sounds like it's kind of healthy, and it is absolutely not. And it's actually incredibly delicious. So these whole wheat chocolate chip cookies from the Smitten Kitchen blog, I very highly recommend.
Those sound good. All right.
Put that in St. Peter's Eaters. Need this recipe for sure. Here's a question for you. What are your hobbies?
Running is one of them. It's sort of a twist. Like growing up, I sort of defined myself as being like the opposite of an athlete. You know, when you're a kid, like you very quickly realize what your strengths are and like play to those. So that was very much like the arts for me. And sports was like the very opposite end of the spectrum. And I did teach for America, which is what led to me beginning teaching. And I had a bunch of very like type A TFA friends that were also runners. And eventually it like kind of wore off on me, kicking and screaming. And a number of years ago, I just decided like I should train for a half marathon maybe. So I kind of made that my New Year's resolution. And that was, I don't know, 7 or so years ago. And since then I've started running usually 6 days a week.
Wow.
It's a big hobby for me. And often I'm training for like a half marathon or a marathon. Podcasts are also a big hobby of mine. I love like collecting knowledge that way and just listening to interesting people talk about interesting things. So I have like a robust podcast feed that I'm always moving through.
Very cool. Can I ask you what your favorite half marathon that's like more local, doesn't have to be in New York City, but more local that you've run has been?
I mean, most of the races I've run are in New York City. I haven't gone too much farther afield. So the Brooklyn half is fun. It's like too many people, but there's something really fun about finishing up in the boardwalk in Coney Island. Not fun to get home when you live in Washington Heights. But yeah, that's a really fun race. And also they've changed the course, but the New York City half used to like loop around Central Park, and then you'd run through Times Square and finish in South Street Seaport kind of. And that was always really fun.
That one sounds fun. Yeah. The Brooklyn half it's good up until the end. Actually, I find really, really boring on that Ocean Parkway until you actually finish. Then it's just like, how many lettered streets do we have? How many more? This is so boring. So
the alphabet goes so slowly. You're like, L. Still?
Then you're like, I'm singing the alphabet song in my mind. Wait, how many more letters? Like, yeah, not fun. But okay, very good. So the next one it's interesting. I'm actually really interested to see what your answer is for this one, because we are both educators. We both work for the Department of Education, which can be a challenging place to work. So Ian, what is your dream job?
My dream job. I don't know. I always really struggle with this one, to be honest. There are moments when my dream is to like flee and like start a bakery somewhere.
I have that too. Let's do it together.
Yeah. Live in some small town somewhere. You know, the thought of like waking up at whatever ungodly hour one has to when you run a bakery, to like use my hands all day and make things that are like lovely and delicious. Sounds like a good job sometimes. So I'll say that for now.
That's a good one. We'll do that together. I can do that. But also my bakery only is open between 12 and 5. Because I'm not waking up at 2 every morning. So
we can take shifts. I would take the night shifts. Here's another thing that we could do as a threesome: run a bakery. I'd like such a fascination with baking and with bread. I'd take the night shift.
Right.
Amazing.
And then karaoke periodically. That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. We need not a bake off as a competition, but a
Mm.
bake in, a bake on, a
Oh,
bake together.
yeah.
Whatever it is, just bake good stuff and eat it all together. I like it.
Love it. Oh, and Julia Delashmatin too.
Oh,
Ah,
she's a great baker. She's
oh,
good.
I've
Yeah,
heard.
I
she's
love
good.
it. So
So,
here's a question. Hey, Ian, what is a favorite childhood memory?
Oh, whew. Mm, 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 mm. So growing up, my family would go to this camp in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I'm originally from Ann Arbor in the Lower Peninsula. And I just have so many favorite memories of spending a couple of weeks out of the summer, like tromping around the woods and getting to go in canoes and boats and swim in the lake or in the pool. Yeah, that was pretty. It's not a very specific memory, but just like gorgeous scenery up there, and had lots of freedom to play with friends and like explore a place that was really fun and beautiful.
I love it. I can picture the younger version of my yourself. And also I can picture the younger version of myself because a lot of happy memories were in door settings, so I can
Mm,
picture enjoying that.
yeah.
Right
yeah.
along with you, like little me.
Oh, little Christopher, little Ian, so cute.
Like, can we go swimming?
um,
You're up.
Ian, some people in the chat are asking you for your podcast list. So, do you want to just give a
Oh
couple of things that you're listening to that
gosh.
you find really interesting?
Yeah. Where do I even begin? There's so many. Code Switch is a regular favorite of mine from NPR. It's a podcast on race in America. It's very good. Um, I just started one yesterday on reparations with Erica Alexander. That's like very smart. I'm excited to see where that goes. This American Life is like a standby, just really good storytelling. Um, RIP, my favorite one that is no longer like in the world uh, was called The Nod. It's these two Black journalists who are like cultural critics. It was like very funny. There was like this amazing episode about Oprah's Legends Ball. That's almost one of my all-time favorite episodes of a podcast. Um, hmm, I could go on a lot longer.
And
On Being is reliably strong. I was like that one. Oh, Crackers and Grape Juice is one that I like listen to religiously. It's a handful of Methodist priests, pastors rather, and I think very highly of a number of them. They have really interesting people on. Yeah, so there's a sampling.
Wow, that's a wide range of interests. That's pretty cool.
holy. You may appreciate there's it's not a podcast, it's actually a series led by Will Smith called Amend
Oh,
on I think it's on Netflix, and it focuses on the 14th Amendment and its history and its effect and its power. I think you would really appreciate seeing it. We're sort of binging it and it's very educational. Amend.
I'm
So
in.
Cool.
I will look
Very
that up.
cool.
yeah.
Hmm.
All
All right.
right. Okay, next question. What's your go-to for relaxation or rejuvenation?
Hmm. Running is one of those things for me. Like it's a time each day where I feel like it's really centering for me to run, and a time that I can sometimes pray. And though it like requires exerting myself, there's something really helpful about that to me. A nap is on the list, and also baking is on that list. Using my hands, making something good. Those are some favorite things to do.
All right. That's good. That's like you sleep, you wake up, you eat something delicious, and then you run it off
Yeah.
like a whole day.
So, and this is not my question, but curious, when is your birthday?
October 5th.
Ah, you are Libra.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. That makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Um, but here's my real question. And for your birthday, for any day of the year, what kind of gift do you love receiving?
Ah, um, So like Christine, I'm an Enneagram 9, and like creature comforts are something that I like really love. Have sort of like a nesting impulse. So like a comfy sweatshirt, or a warm sweater, a comfy blanket, those kinds of things, I always love.
I love that.
It's
Oh
fun.
my gosh. Martha, what kind of gift do you love receiving?
Um, Anything that is edible, that is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing is, the older I get, and maybe you guys can relate, but like the older I get, what more do I need? I sort of feel like
Mhm.
that. And also
Yeah.
like I have limited space. We live in New York City.
Yeah.
So I don't want a lot of stuff, but if you bring me something delicious to eat and I can enjoy it and it's an experience and then it's gone out of my house, like that makes me really,
Yeah.
really happy.
I,
So what about you, Christopher?
Food, most definitely. Chocolate is always a
mm,
winner
Mhm.
when you're opening that. Chocolate, I love it.
Yep.
But I think like art is a very risky thing. But
mm,
when someone has, and many people have given the gift of art, and when they get it right, it's like so satisfying. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So something cultural, artistic, I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. When they get it wrong, though, do you have to go like, "Oh, thanks. This is
Good,
space."
good question. And so far, no one has got it wrong.
Oh, that's
Okay,
good.
good
So
streak.
only people who know you really well are giving you art.
I guess maybe that's what it is. So thank
All
God
right.
I've not had to have that experience.
That's very good. All right, next question. If you could live anywhere, also outside of Earth is included,
Oh,
where would it be?
tricky. I would love to live in Mexico City. That's just like such a great place to be, and the food is incredible. Um, hmm. I also love being by the water. I think water is like very, very soothing. So I just love to live on a beach somewhere, and preferably somewhere warm so you can enjoy that water.
Mm.
Although I also love seasons. So
Why don't we create a mythical place that's like Mexico
that's right. It
City
can be outside
on
of
the
the earth.
beach? Yeah,
Why don't I wave a wand and make it so that you could retire tomorrow and go do all of that?
yeah. And then we could open our bakery because we wouldn't actually need to support ourselves.
Right? It could be
So we
open one
could
hour.
just, yeah, just be open for a couple of hours a day. And when you sell out, you sell out. And that's my
Yep.
dream. Yep. All right.
All right. Oh, we touched on this a little bit, but let's get more specific. Name 3 songs that put you in a happy mood.
Okay. Whew, this is always a tricky one just because I love music so much. And so, like, if I could have 50 songs, that would be a lot easier, but you'd be so deeply bored. Um,
More than 3 is okay.
okay, I'm going to look at my phone because I feel like that will help um, me answer this question. Okay. Ketra Nada. I don't know if you all know of him. He's a DJ and like producer, maybe from Montreal, but a song I've been loving recently is Culture by him. Um, something like joy. Um, Also, the song Wild Girl by Keto and Empress of. I think Empress of is really great. So that's on the list. September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. I
Oh,
can't not feel good when you're listening to that.
Somebody else said that song because I remember singing it on the View.
Mm-hmm.
Who else said that? I don't remember. Oh, it was
Oh,
you.
right. Good company here. I mean, yeah,
you remember? I mean, how could you just not like want to get up and boogie with that one? Yeah.
absolutely.
That's a good one. All right. This is my last one, and it's the
Mm,
only one that I actually included that was serious at all. So
okay.
what breaks your heart?
Hmm. What breaks my heart? Um, I'm an empath in general, so potentially a lot, if I'm being honest. Hearing that story from Christine's sermon this morning certainly broke my heart. Maybe people being unseen, the experience of like going through the world, feeling unregarded or just sort of like overlooked, unobserved, is so sad to me. And I think it's like such an incredible thing that God sees us and sees us fully and looks on us with eyes of love. Yeah, that is like such good news. God should see us and should see the dumb things we've done and the ways that we've sinned and the ways that we've hurt others, and yet he doesn't, because of the gospel. He just sees us as a loving father, and sees all the complexity of our lives, all the brokenness of it, all those like embers of glory too. Yeah.
What a beautiful answer. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Oh, well, for a final question, uh, what are you most grateful for right now?
Mm. Do I have to pick one thing?
No.
uh, I am grateful for ooh, essentially like all the wonderful relationships in my life. Grateful for friends, family. So grateful for St. Peter's too. It's been such a good spiritual home to me.
Hmm.
That's good. Well, I don't know if you're including Christopher and I in that, but I'm going to go ahead and include us. So
Obviously,
thank
yes,
you for
yes.
being grateful for us.
Yes, I'm going to include your ability to run, your ability to eat with abandon, if you're able to, your abilities to sing and share your voice, and the impossible to ignore impact that I imagine you're having on the students that you work with and your colleagues. I imagine people get a lot from your presence, which is just so warm and generous and a pleasure to be around. So,
Yes. And it's hard to actually have this conversation and monitor the chat. So
yeah.
I somehow got lost, but I don't know. Christina's asking for cookies and diamonds.
Yeah,
And
that
I'm
was
not sure how that's born from our conversation, but I just wanted to put that out there.
I'll explain it to you later.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure as always to
Oh,
speak
thanks
with
for
you. So fun.
thanks
Thank
for
you for sharing a little bit more of yourself. And it's always nice to talk to our parishioners, but we love you, Ian. So
Yay, Ian. Yay.
all
Well,
right. Well, everybody have a lovely week.
yes, please take care and be safe.
yeah.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Martha.
Yeah, of course. Bye guys. Bye everybody.
Bye.